I clenched that fist with the black glove so tight I could feel my knuckles pop and the tips of my nails pierce my palm. I held it up like a torch, defiant. There was no way I would place my hand over my heart and give honor to a flag for a country that did not honor me or people that looked like me.
We are approaching almost 55 years since 1968 Olympics there in Mexico City. We're just here to talk about Victory Stand, this amazing graphic novel that we have coming out soon. It was a privilege and an honor to be able to tell your story. I really appreciate you in so many different ways, so many things I've learned. You know, we've talked a lot about the importance of this race, and you actually finishing in first place. For you to make that iconic silent gesture, like to be able, I mean, you had to finish in first place. We'll get to that, but let's go all the way back. You didn't discover your God-given talents of being a world-class athlete until one famous race.
I was in the 4th grade. I remember it like yesterday.
Yeah.
And my sister Sally was in the 7th grade. And Sally was the fastest student in the entire school.
Yeah.
But see, I knew something.
Yeah.
I knew she wasn't the fastest, but I couldn't tell Sally that.
Yeah.
Sally would beat my brains out. And there was another little kid in school, a little white guy, a little white kid named Coy. But Sally was my problem.
Yeah.
Because people were watching, and I figured if I could beat Sally, she couldn't beat me up because the principal was watching.
Yeah.
So I was cool. I walked out there with Sally, and he said, "On your marks, get set, go." Man, he said go. That was Emancipation Proclamation for me.
Mm-hmm.
I could beat my sister without getting beat up.
Yeah. Finally.
So finally, so the race started, and I beat Sally.
Yeah.
Beat her for the first time. So I skipped back to the starting line, and I saw Sally coming toward me. I said, "Oh God, just please give me strength to handle this beating." As she reached in the pocket, I was ducking, dodging, because I thought she was going to hit me. She brought out a nickel.
Yeah.
And she gave it to me. I said, "What's this for?" She said, "For beating me." I became a professional in the 4th grade.
Isn't that something? So now you're on the campus of San Jose State. At that time, the whole track and field community internationally knew who you were. Around 66, 67, you start to really become a household name in track and field. What was it that caused you to interject yourself in the movement?
Why don't I stand up for what I believe? Because I stood up for what I believe on the track. And since I said very little while competing, it was time for me as a black athlete to stand up for those who did not have a platform. Use what I had that I was granted by God to make others understand their need to do something similar. All the young folks who are breathing today should understand that you are somebody. You have something to give. You have something to produce. Produce it and stop being ashamed of because of your color.
Okay, so now Speed City is formed. You guys are breaking world records. We're approaching the 1968 Summer Olympics in Mexico City. And there's a lot of pushback from the Olympic Committee. They do not want any of you guys to protest. They don't want you to say a mumbling word about what's going on down south in Alabama, in Georgia, and Mississippi. They don't want you to say anything. They don't want you to protest at all. But you guys have made y'all mind up that you were going to do something.
Amen.
You weren't quite sure what you were going to do, but you were going to lead those summer games, and people were going to remember your name and remember whatever gesture you guys came up with. Well, let's go to the race, the record-breaking race, the first man ever in Olympic history to run the 200-meter race in less than 20 seconds. You walk into the victory stand. What was going through your mind as the national anthem was playing?
A young 24-year-old man at that particular time was happy that it was that time. When I say that time, meaning it was after the race and we had won. I said we because first place represented America.
Yeah.
And let me point out, I can put inscripted in black, okay, Black America. When we stepped off the victory stand. My pride of what had happened, not just that race, the race from the cotton fields up to that point. That stance was the pride of hard work, the pride of a turnover in the mind that it's over. I have done my best.
If you had one message to give to middle school and high school students, black high school students, in regards to using their athleticism to address social issues, what message would you give to them today?
The responsibility of being you, the responsibility of being oneself. You have to make it. So make it on yourself by identifying the lessons you learn from those who have already gone before you, but you still have to be you in doing this. Like a pebble you throw in the ocean miles from shore. That ripple's going to get to the shore someplace. Eventually, well, you won't see it, but it will make it to shore. Yeah. And it will cause some type of reaction. Be yourself. Take pride in what you do, because it's going to follow you. It's going to follow you. Self.
Yeah. Well, brother, again, it was one of the high marks of my career so far, of telling your story. Appreciate you, and thank you for allowing me in, brother.